Okay, so hello everyone and welcome back to learning JavaScript with me. And today we are going to revise each and everything that we have learned until now. So let's talk about what do you mean by execution context. See, execution context is basically divided into three types. First one is the global execution, execu execution. Second is going to be the local, and the third is going to be memory phase execution, and the third is going to be code code phase execution. Okay, so these are the three types of global execution phases. Now we will be looking at this very quietly and we will be understanding each and every concepts. What is global execution, what is memory phase execution, and what is code phase executions. Let's talk about the number one, which is known as memory phase execution. Memory phase execution contains the has some rules. So the rules are as follows. So like where has where works fine, uh, function prints the code, var variables are undefined, and then let and cons are restricted. Okay, now what do these four things tell about this memory execution phase? Now if I have one variable which is known as name of me, okay, if I have this variable like this Lokesh Wasnik over here. Now if I want to print this over here, name of me, and if I run this code, or I can go over here and if I run this code in index, if I click go live, I will get the window prompted. Wait, let me show you the window. Yeah, I got the window over here, so I will just go and make it full screen. Now we need VS Code over here, and we will be looking at this problem, of course. So we don't need this. Yeah, so as you can see over here, the name is printed perfectly. Like if I reload this, I can see Lokesh Vasnik is getting printed. But what I need to do now is, even if I go and click, copy this console and click it over here, imagine what will happen. I will get the name, I will not get any error, I will not get the error like in the variable name of me is initialized before declaring. We cannot get any errors like initializing ka error nahi aayega, and instead of that we will get undefined over here, and over here we will get the value. Okay, for some reason I clicked on that, so yeah. Now if you see over here, one is undefined and one is Lokesh Vasni. So these is the like this thing is like works over here. Now if I keep the debugger, as you can see, if I keep the debugger over here, nothing will happen, but I know like in order to show you guys I can do that, right? So over here like this, if I kept the debugger over here and if I show you the debugger, and if I click, oh, notice the scopes and everything over here. If I click one step forward, I click this one, and over here I got anonymous, but over here as you can see inside the global scope, the name of the variable is getting printed. If I go inside mn, the name of the variable got printed over here, and yeah, this is how the things works. So this is how each and everything works whenever you are talking about the variable. But if I use let variable over here, notice what error I get over here. So the error I get over here is, if I console it, not this, if I go and remove the debugger and then go over here, and then if I press reload, as you can see, I got the error saying that uncaught reference cannot access name of me before initializing, which says that name of me is not, or we can say we cannot access name of me because it is not initialized yet. So this is the difference between let and like, or now we can say that this variable is hoisted but this variable is not hoisted. Okay, so this was the thing that I was supposed to tell you. Then we have function prints the code. Now over here, if I have a function, okay, functions are of two types. So yeah, functions, so functions के अंदर we have declaration, then we have expressions. Okay, expression. So what do you mean by declaration? Declaration functions are like this, like name me like this. Not name me is better. It's not this. Yeah, params I don't want to give any parameters, so it is not giving any parameters. But as you can see over here, now if I create this function over here, and it is saying something like hello from function, right? Now if once we use normal functions, what we will do is name me, and I'm going to just go and print this over here. So I got hello from function from line number 24, but the moment I go over here and print it, I will get the same desired output, because functions are initialized properly, or we can say functions work as normally inside the memory execution phase. So the memory execution makes this function scope go hoisted, and that's the reason we get that. Now let's talk about the expressions. Expressions are like you are storing some kind of function inside a variable, and because of that we use the expression value. For an example, name me, if I do this and do this. If I do this, then will hello world me from function. Now if I want to access this particular thing, if I go over here and if I want to action this particular thing, I can easily go name me, and I can easily go and access it, right? But the moment I go and access this before initializing, I will get the error at line number 31 saying that cannot access name me before initializing it, because we are using an expression. And this is how the memory execution phase works, and this is how the hoisting also works, and this is how each and everything works over here. Okay, now this is how each and everything works. Now let's talk about something else, which is known as the function lexical scope, global 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 scope, block scope. Okay, let's talk about this one. Lexical scope, first we will talk about the block scope. So whatever you are writing, or we can say whatever you declare inside a group of variable, okay, that is known as a, for an example, let's take an example over here. What I will do is I will simply use a binary search algorithm, and in order to search the value, okay, let's take an example. Let's take a code example. We are going to take an code example using binary search. Now simplicity, what we will do is, in order to use binary search, we will use start variable, which is 0. We will use the end variable, which is going to be, of course, the size. So need to add the variable, so const array, which is equal to binary search, right? So it is like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, our target value is basically 7 in this case. Our target value is 7. So const target is equal to 7, and I'm going to say that the end is going to be the length. So arr dot length function minus 1, which is obviously the end value. But end value ऐसे नहीं होता है, end value मतलब n minus 1 रहता है. So maybe that is also possible. तो ठीक है, ये भी हम लोग ने कर लिया. Now we will be using a while loop, which will have each and every code block which is written over here. So मैंने एक यूज़ किया while loop, which is taking the statement. मैं बोलूँगा भाई जब तक मेरा start is less than equal to end, okay, तब तक what you are going to do is you are going to take the mid. You're going to say start plus end, which is then divided by 2. Okay, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to do this. Okay, now let me tell you, I have used let over here, and this let variable, or we can say the let keyword, or we can say the mid variable, is inside between this bracket. So what are you going to do inside this one? I'm going to check if the area of mid is or we can say, yeah, if it is equal to the target that we have got. If it is equal to the target, then you just go and return me the mid. If you do not get it, okay, if you do not get, or we can say if the mid value that I got, for an example, I got 4, and I will say that if the mid value, which is 4, if it is less than the target, then where you need to find, I will say bhai mujhe to right hand side jana hai, so start is equal to mid plus 1. Okay, similarly inside the else you need the drill, and is equal to mid minus 1. This is what I'm going to do over here. Once I am done with this, I will just go over here and wrap it inside a function. So function का नाम होगा binary search. Binary search, there is going to be parameter of start and target, each and everything, and just the function itself. And over here, once you are done with this, you got the return value, and if you don't have it, you are going to return -1. And if I go over here and if I call the function which is having arr start this, I will just go over here, I will say arr start value, end value, target value, each and everything is given to you. Okay, cannot reference name me before initializing, so we need to make it off. arr.length is not a function, so it is not a function, so let's make it a function. Hello me world from Lokesh, and yeah, we now just got the value, so I'm gonna go say output, then I'm going to console.log the output screen, so which is equal to 6. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 is the index where our 7 number is located inside this array. Now this is the binary search that I was talking about. This binary search is using a block scope variable. Let me give you an example. Now as you can see over here, we are inside the while block. If you are using a while block, what happens is you cannot access this particular variable outside the function. Okay, because even if you are using mid, or we can say even if you are using the let keyword, I cannot access this one over here. If you go over here and see, uncaught reference error mid is not defined, but the moment I do var, I will not get any error, and it will tell me that it is undefined. It will say that var is not defined because it is inside the global scope. Okay, now it is functional. Now this variable is not targeting this value, or we can say not targeting this while loop, it is targeting this value, but we cannot access this particular console.log outside. It is not only possible, mid is not defined. Okay, so as you can see over here, the block which this var keyword is targeting is the parent block, and if I use let, it is not possible. If I use anyone, it is obviously not possible. So once this is case, and if I go over here and if I console this, once I can get the values as well. Okay, now what are we going to do next? We are going to do next something like कुछ तो important ही हम लोग करने वाले, like we are going to talk about the global scope. Initially, if you don't declare a variable with its name, then it is actually apparently said that it is a global scope, but it is not strictly allowed in this case. But yeah, we will see. As you can see, mid value. So if I wanted to actually go and console the mid, I might get to see Lokesh Vasnik over here, which is 51, which is a global accessible keyword. Okay, now I cannot access it because it is not accessed because it is inside the function scope, but yeah, it is pretty much not valid. Okay, now what are we going to do next is we are going to talk about the lexical scope. Lexical scope is something like if you are running a function and you have something over there, you create a variable outside, that variable can be accessible inside, but the children elements cannot be accessible outside. For an example, if I do this, mid is equal to start plus end, which is then divided by 2. Now if I want to access this mid over here, okay, if I want to access this mid, I can easily go and access it. I won't get any errors over here. I won't get any errors because it is moving correctly and it is not doing anything. But the moment I do ASDF, I'll get errors over here. Okay, so you will get errors over here and you will not able to access anything over here. My PC just got shut down, so yeah. Okay, so while star is less than equal to n, you got my point, right? So this is how the lexical scope, the global scope, the block scope, and also the functions, declarations, expressions, memory location phase, global execution phase, each and everything works over here. So thank you for watching, and now I will practice the other remaining questions and we are good to go with JavaScript as well. Let's quit this. Let's open this, pause